wasn't that, it wasn't what it was before. So I truly appreciate that in terms of the viewership.
And with that fast forward button, you don't necessarily watch the commercial.
Well, unless you have the experience I had, in which my mom and my sister watched all of the CBS soaps, and my sister, when I was in high school, was in college. So on days when I was home, my sister would come home, my mom would come home from work, and those shows that were being recorded where you couldn't change the channel and were on all day, then got turned right back on. And so they were on for 8 hours a day in my house.
Yeah.
There was no escaping it. You talk about family. I thought those people were my aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
My cousin, when I was little, and talk about change and not wanting change. My cousin Kathleen, she had Down syndrome, and she was a CBS. These were my stories, and she could tell you every single thing about every single thing that happened on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about taking something away from someone, and when you're in a situation like that, that was a routine, and we know all about, especially docs specifically with autism. I mean, but even with my mom, I went to work for ABC Daytime. I think it took my mom like 10 years to even watch General Hospital.
Really?
Yeah. So I called her one day, and she goes, well, Johnny, CBS, they're my stories. Mom!
Why couldn't you get a job there, Johnny?
Yeah, really? Yeah, you're going to get a job in soap opera. Why couldn't you get a job there, Johnny? And it was Johnny.
That's great.
That is too funny. I could see that happening, too.
Well, I'll tell you the thing that would be cool, too, and that is going to happen is when you talk about people adjusting, you talk about you came home and watched yours because they were recorded. Everybody's busy these days. Everybody has a million things they want to do, so they're going to be able to go and get these things on demand, which is going to be a great thing. For our content, it'll be on our website. For Prospect Park, they'll have Hulu and iTunes.
Right.
It's going to be a really cool thing once everyone embraces it, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how strong the loyal audience continues to be, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, once it catches on, I think it's going to be as huge as TV, if not bigger, because they can watch it at any time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not have to worry about setting the recorder or the DVR and it not taping it. I've had that happen to me, and that's frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think this will be great.
And we live in a world of technological advancement every day. Jordy can speak of my terror of having to go from the BlackBerry to the iPhone, and I didn't want to do it and didn't want to do it, and now I love my iPhone. So it took all of about 3 months to figure that out. In fact, I've been using a great little thing on here where I can mute because I've been sick for 3 days. So every time I cough, I mute myself. So I'm loving the iPhone for that.
I had kind of the same issue. I went to the BlackBerry, and then the Androids came out, and I thought, those look interesting. Let me try one of those. But it took a little bit of time to type in, the virtual keyboard kind of thing. Now I love it, and I wouldn't change to anything else. Exactly.
Well, you get used to it, and I was told that. John can attest to the fact he and I were traveling somewhere to lecture, and he asked me to send a quick, I think the response was, hey, I'm on my way to the airport, I'll call you later, was all I had to type, and it took me about 20 minutes.
Yeah. And by that time you were there.
Every bump we hit, I hit the wrong button, and I was messed up. I was so upset.
Or how about you send out a text message, and it does an autocorrect on you, and it's something that you even wanted to say.
Yeah, or the one that it does autocorrect.
Yeah.
I know. I sent somebody ha, ha, ha the other day, and it said hash, hash, hash. What in the world is that?
Yeah, you have to learn how to save those words that are not in that dictionary, so that way when you type it out, it's going to go. And it's going to be actually what you wanted to say. That's just too funny. I've had that happen and then have to go, oh, my gosh, I meant blah, 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 whatever it was,
Right.
And they're laughing, saying, I was wondering what you were talking about.
You don't know. You just hit send thinking it's fine.
Yeah. we've learned not to proofread initially when we get them, but now you have to after you make the first couple boo-boos.
David.
Yes.
You still okay? You still there? Okay. How? I don't know you. How have you come to this program? What's your background in this whole thing, and what has you, so tied into all this?
What has me tied in?
Yeah.
I'm just a regular soap fan who came together. I met Pam through the internet about a couple months ago, and she was in on a program for trying to save the soap genre, so I decided that I would like to come aboard and help her out, and I've been with her. How long have I been with you? April? March? April.
Somewhere in through there. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man.
Oh,
absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, seriously, thanks for doing that. Thanks for being part of it. We really appreciate it.
So what more would you guys like to know about PAOS Revolution? Do you have questions in relation to that, or do you want us to just spew everything that we know about us?
Well, we did have other questions that we just wanted the listeners to know a little bit more about each one of you. But we can go into PAOS Revolution. Who came up first with the idea of spelling soap backwards to get PAOS?
I think it was you, Doc.
That would be me.
Yeah, I think it was Doc.
Yeah, well, the whole idea we've been trying to do is we wanted to do something that could be very much recognizable, but not too far out of the reach of it all. And our whole motto for what we're doing is our catchphrase is flip the script. We had a very negative thing happen in the way that the shows are taken away. And in life, everybody has that. We've all been through it. Both John and Jordy and I are all entrepreneurial people who start up everything that we do. We Jordy's produced stuff. John and I are producing stuff. We, outside of being coaches, actors, whatever. And the whole idea was take a negative and flip it into a positive. So we thought the best way for that was flip soap backwards and make it a new name with a new life, but with the same family. And the revolution part of that, honestly, came because we needed something. But because PAOS was a name that was taken, there was actually like an organic soap company, I think, out there that had PAOS. So we wanted to add something to it, and the whole idea behind it.
Soap and soap,
right.
huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And I can't remember whether it was John, Jordy, or myself. The three of us kind of put our heads together, and PAOS Revolution was something we thought we could do. It'd be a good movement. It's a cool way of going about it, and it's just something that we thought would fit well with the idea behind what it is we're doing. And so that's where PAOS came from.
And it's
wonderful. It's ingenious.
Really I think it kind of sticks in the person's head, PAOS.
Yeah.
Like they've never heard of that word, so they remember it. And
exactly.
I think that hopefully
the whole revolution part of it is twofold to me too, because when you look at the word soap as it revolves, it becomes PAOS, then revolves back around the soap, and then the revolution part, I think, speaks for itself, because that's what we're trying to do, create a revolution here.
Right.
To kind of rock the status quo.
Exactly. Now, the only problem I have is when I try to type it out sometimes, I'm seeing myself typing PASO, P-A-S-O.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah, welcome to my world, then, Pam.
Yeah.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yes, it is. And I'm working on it. I need someone to coach me on spelling that the right way.
Well, coach you just fine. It'll be more than just knowing your words. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And I have it programmed into my auto words, so.
Awesome.
There you go.
That's great. With us, I mean, I'm looking back in Jordy, and, when he came on the scene, going back to who we are, again, General Hospital was something I never saw myself on. I mean, it wasn't a place I saw myself being, as a coach. Started out as an actor. I worked on some daytime stuff. I go back to, the days of, Edge of Night. Back to that, having conversations. I worked on a movie in New York with Alec Baldwin, and talking to him about his start at the doctors, and him looking at me going, how does anybody do that? I mean, how do they do it? It's probably the hardest medium I've ever worked in. And that goes, New York theater, nighttime television, movies, and good and A-list movies. I mean, like I said, some big-time movies. To come over there, to go on that set and realizing how difficult it is to do what these guys do day in and day out, and, how proud I am. Going back to Radio City Music Hall, I didn't know how to get off that stage because we won so many times. The first time we did not win the Emmy in General Hospital, I had no idea how to get off the stage, how to go back outside. And that's no joke. I mean,
nobody
I
waving at you saying this way?
I used to just follow everybody. Went back, everybody got their Emmys. That's the way it went. But guys like Steve Burton, Maurice Bernard, I mean, look at Julie Berman, Kirsten Storms. Julie Berman and Kirsten were both in my class when they were like 8 and 10 years old, respectively. That's how long we go back. And Steve Burton, getting to work, starting to work with Steve when, the lightweight of the character had a chance, because of the nature of daytime, to change the character around completely. That's a guy that wouldn't let you leave. He wouldn't let me leave for a long weekend without writing down every single thing there was to ask him, so he could ask it of himself. And Maurice, and Vanessa, Kimberly, Mike Sutton I just talked to again last week, because I'm trying to get my memory jogged on going back to the Stone Cates, Robin Scorpio stuff, because Kristen Day, who has been unbelievable with us, by the way, has been asking me a bunch of questions on, and you live through that stuff, it becomes it's like you didn't live through a death, but going back to the commitment of those guys, and them being with you every single day, and just wanting to do more, wanting to do better. And what Doc was saying before, when I left the show, we were doing 170 pages a day. That's insanity. It's insanity. And when you look at what these guys are capable of, and Doc and I used to take a daytime script, a scene, and reformat it to look like a movie script and hand it out. When we go on to do workshops wherever we went, and people would literally say, oh, my God, this is a great scene. What's this from? And we tell them, General Hospital. Oh, I hate soap opera.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously? Right? Really? You get a chance to do what you just said, this great scene every day. Believe me, you would be lucky to do it.
Exactly.
Brian Prosy back in the day with Port Charles. I said, Brian, you're going to get a chance to get up and work in front of a camera every single day. An actor can't have or couldn't have a better schoolroom than that. It's the best place to learn, in front of a camera. And I said, it is what we make it. I'll never let you fall to what you think the material or where the material exists. Any really good or any really smart actor will always bring the material. If they think it is below, up to them. And then hopefully get a chance to take some really, truly great material, and you can move up to where it is. And that's just the way I've always approached it from the beginning, of getting onto General Hospital. So.
And a lot of movie stars have come from soaps, and a lot of people don't think about that, that have never been on a soap as far as an actor is concerned. They don't think about where they started out, and now they're these big A-list stars.
Alec Baldwin, Alec, I'll tell you what. Again, I think because he moved so effortlessly between one medium and another, he in a certain way gets discounted. I think that's one of the most underrated actors Hollywood's had.
Yeah, I enjoy him. I just watched his brother last night in a movie.
Yeah, which one?
Billy Baldwin.
Okay. Billy did. He had a career. Boy, Alec really, really smart. But look at Meg Ryan. Who with Demi Moore?
Right. Demi was on GH. That was one of her first.
Yeah. Yes,
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want him back on GH. Go talk to somebody,
Well, you know what?
please.
The way things are going, I haven't talked to you over there for a little while, but the way things are going, you might get him.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you how happy I am.
Already.
I couldn't tell you how happy I am with all the old faces back.